We've often asked the question here on Loose Women, could you forgive an affair? But how about if your husband had a 5-year affair and was convicted of a campaign of harassing his former lover? Well, the wife of comedian Rory McGrath vowed to stand by her husband yesterday after he was sentenced for a campaign of harassment against a woman when she ended their 5-year affair. Now, he bombarded her with text messages. He sent her intimate photos that she'd previously allowed him to take, and he said that he deleted them. He'd obviously lied. And he threatened to tell her husband about their relationship. Rory was found guilty of tormenting his victim, leaving her needing psychiatric help. Now, it takes a very strong woman to stand by your husband when he's done something like this, doesn't it?
Yeah. And first of all, you have to say, for the woman who was the object of his attentions, that must have been horrific.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, really, and she you know, she's in need of psychiatric support, and you can understand why. Could I, in that situation, stand by somebody? Well, you've got two things, haven't you? You've got the infidelity, you've got the affair, and then you've got the way that he handled it and what he subjected this other woman to. Sorry. I know it seems ridiculous, but they've been together for 21 years. If you've been together for a long time, it's like any relationship, you've got credits and debits. In this instance, he has said that he was insane, that he was driven by the madness of an addict. Possibly, if I felt that my partner had just completely lost it, was in a terrible place, and I could rationalise why he had behaved this way, and I felt there was enough good in our relationship to make it worth pursuing, possibly I could do it.
Yeah. That's a really interesting stance. That's not necessarily what I expected you to say, if I'm honest.
I think the thing about it's like my cousin has recently found out that her husband's having an affair, and I was really interested by my response to it, because if you'd taken me back 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would have immediately gone, right, that's it, get rid of him, out the door, lock the door up, da-da-da-da. But you get older and these things change. Now, I mean, when I look at my marriage, I think it's 14 years of hard graft in lots of ways. We've been through so much. You know, as I've spoken about before, Mark has been through rehab, and he's been 12 years sober now, and that's a lot of work to get that.
Yeah.
And he often says to me, well, how did you stay with me through those years when I was drinking? I say, because I knew you were good. You were a deeply good person. And I still think that. I think whatever he did, I know that his soul is really good. And I hope he feels the same way about me. And we can all make mistakes. Now, he has said, Rory, wasn't he, that he's in a process of addiction, you know, half mad with it. So all I can say is, at this age, at 52, I wouldn't immediately go out the door. To anything.
Again, I find that so interesting because, again, that's not the reaction that I would expect you to have. My sort of reaction to just this as a topic, sort of putting it to one side, this specific case, I've been on the receiving end of someone behaving very badly towards me. Someone, after I've been in a relationship with them. And it's terrifying. And the fact that, you know, in some instances, you know, in this case it went on for years, it doesn't just affect you, that the ripples stretch out to your children, your parents, your inner circle, as it were. You feel incredibly frightened and vulnerable. So my gut reaction is not necessarily as would I stand by, it's I feel desperately sorry for what it must have been like to be on the receiving end of that. For the victim.
Yeah, and I'm not in any way justifying his behaviour or condoning his behaviour. I think it is horrific.
But putting my other hat on, would I stand by? I mean, again, I've been in difficult relationships in my past, and I've actually...
to the point that you've been scared?
Yes. And I've walked away. And I don't know,
think of the person that you love the most, the person that you truly believe, you know their soul, you know they're really good,
my dog,
and they make a terrible... OK, Jackson has just done the biggest canoodie on your new sofa.
I'm joking.
Jackson.
But I'm listening
to you and I'm listening to you and listening to you,
Yeah.
and I think if that was Steve, we've been married for 10 years, and if 5 of those years he'd been stalking another woman, I'd feel like totally like I don't know who you are. That's what I would be devastated.
You're a stranger.
You're a stranger, and I would feel like, God, am I a bad judge of character?
I think it was actually harassment in this case, but just a little point.
Yeah, and I just think the whole thing about, you know, harassment is this is quite a sinister kind of sort of
God, I'm not
situation.
justifying it.
But
No.
I think if I was in that situation, I personally don't think I could deal with it.
If you thought that got heated, wait until you watch these and click here to subscribe. You may as well. It's totally free.